Bill Gates, let's take more vaccines. No, you will put microchips in our bodies and track us. Peter Thiel from Palantir, I will track you in my database from cradle to grave. Oh, wow, normal and trustworthy. Yeah, it's a big double standard there, isn't it? But also, Peter Thiel is such an evil vampire of a human being. Like, when I say vampire, by the way, I literally mean that he believes that young people's blood is the key to making himself live longer and potentially forever. Already fucking weird, right? But also, the dude literally names his companies after Lord of the Rings, but not just Lord of the Rings villains and evil relics. Palantir is literally the orb used by Sauron to keep tabs on and track Middle-earth, right? So this guy isn't naming these things after the good guys. This video brought to you by my YouTube members and patrons. Thank you guys. How's it going, everybody, and welcome back to another subreddit video. Today we're going to be taking a look at r/vaxxhappened. It's been a little while since I looked at this, and oh boy, is the state of things, it's not improved. It's not improved at all, has it? Especially not with people like RFK in power. So we're gonna take a look at that today. Very quickly before we begin, couple things to mention. First of all, as always, I will be live in 2 hours after this video going live. That's every single Thursday at 7 PM UK time. So if you want to catch my streams, please do consider that, because they're always a good time and I would love to see more of you there. After me and Leo move and things settle down more, I am thinking of potentially streaming more often, so let me know what days and what times you guys would most be able to make streams. I understand that I live in the UK and a lot of my viewers are American, so timing is sometimes a little bit difficult, so perhaps weekends might be easier. We'll see. The other thing is, YouTube members and patrons, you guys get one extra video every single week, so please do consider joining. You can join for as low as £1. That's basically 25p per video. Other than that, let's get into the subreddit, shall we? Too much rambling. 2022, the vax will kill you within a year. 2023, the vax will kill you within 2 years. 2024, the vax will kill you within 3 years. 2025, the vax will kill you within 4 years. I've been making videos on vaxxhappened for a long time now, like since before COVID-19 was even predicted to be a thing. Like, don't get me wrong, coronaviruses existed. They've existed for a long time, but COVID-19 didn't exist yet, which means that I've seen these kinds of arguments for a long time, right? But the minute COVID-19 happened, lots of stuff coming out about that. The minute the vaccines came out, so many people, I had people commenting on my own videos telling me, you'll be dead within a year, you'll be dead by this day, this specific date. And like every single year that I continue making videos, I will be guaranteed to get at least one comment saying that I'm going to die by X date, and it's always further and further in the future every single time, because guess what? This vaccine, it's not killing people. Vaccinated people who walked towards the computer emitted a Bluetooth code. So apparently, if you took the full proper COVID vaccine, you now have your own personalized Bluetooth code. Wild. What an insane but like easily verifiable claim. Phones detect Bluetooth. You go on your phone. Let's test it right now. I'm vaccinated. Let's go on my phone, right? We're going to open up Bluetooth settings and let's see any other devices being picked up. Oppo A96. That's the only device being picked up that isn't something that I am actively connected to. Let's look up what an Oppo A96 is. Oppo A96 is a phone. So basically what my phone is picking up is one of my neighbor's phones. No Bluetooth signal, but also Bluetooth chips aren't that small. They're not small enough that you could inject one in a fucking syringe, like a vaccine syringe, which are microscopically small. Like, you can get chips that you can inject into yourself. You can get contactless chips that use contactless, not Bluetooth. They're like NFC chips. You can't get a Bluetooth chip that small that would be powered, that would be permanently powered. It's just not a thing. Like, at the very least, you'd have something that you could scan if you get right up to it. But that's not what they're claiming. They're claiming Bluetooth, which is just verifiably false. A 27-year-old woman and her husband consulted an infertility specialist 2 years ago. Tests show she was fine. Hubs has a low sperm count. The woman, now 29, followed up with the infertility doc, who asked, Did you get the vax? She had. To keep her job. He informed her, you have no eggs. Infertility Doc has contacted an attorney to assist her in filing suit against her employer. He has seen many cases of premature ovarian failure in young women post-vax. Parents, think twice about vaccinating your daughters. Females are born with all the eggs they will ever have. The first half of this reads like those YouTube posts, like this if you cry every time. He informed her, you have no eggs. Billie Eilish, who think gave you tall? You know, it has the same energy as all of those. But obviously it's bullshit. And there's many layers to why this is bullshit. But first and foremost is that no vaccine is causing you to lose all of your eggs. Also, women start to see a distinct and drastic decline in the amount of eggs they have when they reach about 30. 29 is earlier than that, but it's not impossible that someone could see a distinct change before that point, assuming that this is a real scenario, which it's almost definitely not. But an actual doctor who has seen this in a woman, has seen this happen, wouldn't immediately go, this was the vaccine, we're suing your workplace. They would run a whole load of medical tests on the woman to establish exactly what health condition has caused this, and if they actually narrowed it down to the vaccine, would report this to the vaccine reporting agencies that exist. I will put one of their names up on screen. And this would become a recorded side effect of the vaccine, but it's not. That hasn't happened. 6 infants born with congenital measles in Ontario from unvaccinated mothers. This is one of those things that is completely predictable and completely expected. It was inevitable the minute anti-vaxxers started cropping up and spewing their anti-vax bullshit. We knew this was going to happen. The poor children do not deserve this. They do not deserve to have absolute morons as parents. And it's really unfortunate, but it was absolutely inevitable. It was definitely going to happen. The year is 2025. The US Health Secretary, who insists people should not take medical advice from him, declares medical research obsolete. RFK Jr. to the American people, do your own research. Is that not your job, RFK? As the US Health Secretary, is it not your job to be funding research so that the basic person who cannot understand what most medical information means should not need to? Leo recently had to get a blood test for some medical conditions. I'm not going to disclose what the results were. That would be weird. But one thing that the blood test result came back and basically said was, don't make assumptions based on the results you've got. It told him, a normal person, not to make assumptions based on the results of this blood test, because he, a normal person who could Google what the results might mean, will probably get back a lot of things that are unlikely or not the case. People are not qualified to do medical research unless they are qualified medical researchers. That feels like a statement that is completely redundant and shouldn't need to be said. But when the US Health Secretary is telling unqualified people to do the research they are not qualified to do, I feel like I really need to fucking say that. The 5th horseman of the modern apocalypse: war, famine, pestilence, death, and you are misinformation. This isn't even a recent thing. This has been going on for most of my life now at this point, but conservatives and misinformation, it's their greatest tool. You'll never see them lose this tool because they don't want to do research. They say do your own research. I do my own research, but they don't actually want to. They don't do their own research. Their own research is, well, a Facebook post told me this. Well, I saw a video on YouTube. Well, someone linked to a medical study, but I didn't read it. I just assumed that they had. And that's the extent of it. And that's why misinformation spreads so far, so fast among these kinds of people. I would rather slam my pecker in the oven door than ever inject one of your bullshit vaccines. Go on then. No one's stopping you, Casper. Do it, pussy. I don't know who needs to hear this, but when a doctor refuses to see a child because they didn't get pokes, you're dealing with a sales rep, not a doctor. I feel like it goes without saying that freedom for action does not mean freedom from consequence. You can refuse to get vaccines for yourself and your children. Your poor f***ing child, they don't deserve that. They don't deserve to have you as a parent, but you can do that. That is your right. That is your freedom to refuse to get a vaccine. However, you are not free from the consequences that ensue. And a hospital and a doctor is very, very well within its right to refuse refuse to allow someone to risk making their already vulnerable patients worse. There are people that cannot get the vaccines because they are immunocompromised. They have various conditions affecting their immune systems. So you risking bringing in an illness because you refuse to get vaccinated is putting those other patients at risk because of your own selfishness. So yes, it is very much okay for a hospital to refuse to see your child because you are putting their other patients at risk. I hope that makes sense. Even the Red Cross doesn't want their tainted blood. It's there, spelled Their. I know education isn't exactly at the forefront of these people's minds, but they could at least try. Anyway, they posted, the American Red Cross says you cannot donate blood plasma if you've had the vaccine because the vaccine wipes out the body's natural antibodies. Read this as many times as you need to until you get it. I get it after reading it once, and it's not true. It's so easy to prove that this is not true. It's so verifiably false. It takes 30 seconds to go to the Red Cross website. Let's do that now. You may still donate blood, platelets, or plasma after receiving the COVID-19 vaccine. That is from the American Red Cross website. It is so easy to verify this information. It takes literally 10 seconds to Google it, and the first result is the American Red Cross saying this information is false. You can in fact donate blood. This is one of those points when people say do your own research, they don't do their own research. Anybody who has posted this has not done even a scrap of research to verify this information because it is demonstrably, verifiably false by the official source that they are claiming. Do your own research means do your own research. So the least you could do is actually do that. If you're gonna tell people to do their own research, don't be a hypocrite and actually do the bare minimum. Remember, they have to show you what they're going to do before they do it. That's like their #1 rule or something. Towards the end of the series, Penny starts working for a pharmaceutical company, and in one of the episodes, she says they're meeting with Bill Gates about affordable vaccines. Virtue signaling, programming, call it whatever you want. Just don't say they didn't warn ya. Remember, they have to tell you before they do it. Look closely. It's like absolute lethal tier copium to think that if there was actually some insane underground organization that is tracking people with vaccines, that they would put it on live TV what their plans are, that they would air it on TV to the whole world what they're doing, because of course they fucking wouldn't. That's not a rule, and that's not what they have to do. If this kind of thing existed, you, Courtney Allen, some rando on Facebook that thinks you're a lot smarter than you are, wouldn't pick up on what they're doing because they wouldn't tell you. That would be so stupid. You're not special. You haven't picked up on some global vaccine that no one else can see because they're just not as smart as you. You're picking up on things that don't exist. Don't use copium to justify your pareidolia. Measles vaccination among babies skyrocketed in Texas as the outbreak grew, new research shows. Because in practice, anti-vax is a luxury belief based on the assumption that your neighbor's vaccines do in fact work. This is exactly it, right? Anti-vaxxers only think that they don't see these illnesses because the people around them are vaccinated. But suddenly, in these communities of people that aren't vaccinated, we see an increase in those illnesses that they're not vaccinated against. Isn't that strange? And then yeah, suddenly, I'm an anti-vaxxer. Oh no, I'm at risk of getting ill, or my child's at risk of getting ill. I'll get them vaccinated. But I guarantee to you, most of these anti-vaxxers get their kids vaccinated and then claim that they're still an anti-vaxxer who isn't vaccinating their children. Because it's all about virtue signaling. It's all about pretending that you're actually doing the thing you claim, because then you get more support from your Republican comrades, who none of which are actually following these rules that they claim they are. And the final post. Can't wait for all the jabs you voluntarily took to kick in and start weeding out the weak. It's been 5 years. They're still talking about the vaccines that are supposedly gonna kill me in 2022. Still waiting on that. But also, how pathetic and horrible is it to be like, oh, I'm anti-vax, therefore I want people who vaccinated to die. Like, it goes beyond my body, my choice. It's my right to not get vaccinated when you start wishing death upon other people because they're smarter than you. And that's where I'm going to end the video. Thank you for watching, everybody. I hope you have enjoyed. If you would like to support me in making more content like this, then I have a Patreon in the description down below, or equally you can click on that join button on the channel to support me. It helps a lot more than you might realize, but by no means should you feel like you have to. I'm going to keep making content regardless. A huge, massive special thank you to all of my wonderful YouTube members and patrons that do support me though. All of your names are on screen right now, and it genuinely helps so much. To everybody that does support me, and to anybody that might be considering supporting me, for as low as £1 a month, you will get one extra video every single week. That's the equivalent of 25p per video. If you want to donate more, if you want to support by a higher tier, that is totally up to you, but it is absolutely not mandatory. We are, however, me and Leo are considering launching some stickers. We're thinking of doing 2 stickers every single week, 1 sticker for each of our cats. Leo will be drawing a new design for them, not every week, every month. Oops. Every single month, Leo will be drawing 2 stickers of our cats. We haven't confirmed this just yet, but this is something we're talking about. So if you would be interested in a tier, a slightly higher tier, that you get stickers for every single month, let me know if that's something you would be interested in. But other than that, thank you so much for watching, everybody. I hope you have enjoyed, and as always, I will see you in the next video. Peace out.